The Division of Early Childhood Care and Development is excited to show you our new system for tracking your child's attendance in child care. We appreciate your time and attention as we demonstrate your role in this process. Each household designee is responsible for checking their child in and out every day when the child attends care. Choosing alternate household designees who will be authorized to check the child in and out when they attend care. Please be aware that failure to comply with all program policies can result in termination from the program. The Interactive Voice Response, or IVR system, is utilized to record attendance transactions with an unlicensed provider over a standard landline-based telephone system. The IVR prompts the caller for information, after which the caller then uses the phone keypad in order to respond. Each licensed provider has a registered landline phone which must be used to record attendance. Household designees cannot use a cell phone to record attendance. In addition, the household designee must record attendance. The provider is not allowed to record attendance. Household designees will have a 4-digit person number which to use when recording attendance. The person number should not be shared with the provider or anyone else. It's important to remember to record each child's attendance on a daily basis. Recording attendance daily is the most efficient and accurate method of capturing this information. Now, let's take a look at how to record a child's attendance using the IVR system. In this segment of the video, we'll discuss how to perform a check-in. In order to perform a check-in operation through the IVR system, the household designee will dial the household IVR number provided. The system will respond with, "Thank you for calling the Mississippi eChildcare Attendance Tracking System." The IVR will provide options to interact with the system through English, Spanish, or Vietnamese. The system will ask for assistance in English, press 1. For assistance in Spanish, press 2. For assistance in Vietnamese, press 3. The IVR will prompt, "Please enter your case ID." Enter the case ID utilizing the phone keypad. Next, the system will validate the case ID, the phone from which the call is being placed, and the current case status. If the case ID is not valid, the IVR will prompt to re-enter a valid case ID. If the calling phone number is not the designated landline for the provider, the IVR will instruct the caller to use the authorized phone line. If the case is not active, or if there are no active authorizations, the IVR will refer the caller to contact the local ECCD office. Next, the system will prompt, "Please enter your 4-digit person number." Use the keypad to enter the person number assigned by ECCD. If there is an error with the entry, the system will prompt with the cause of the error, such as an invalid person number. Once a valid person number is entered, the system determines how many children have authorizations on the case. If there are multiple children, the system will provide an opportunity to list the child numbers needed in the next few steps. If there are multiple children, the system will prompt, "To check your child in or out of this in-home child care provider, press 1. For more information on child numbers, press 2. If there's only one child on the case with an authorization, this prompt will not be heard. The system will now prompt for the type of attendance action to take. If this is a current child check-in, press 1. If this is a current child check-out, press 2. If this is a child check-in for earlier today or a previous day, press 3. If this is a child check-out for earlier today or a previous day, press 4. To perform a check-in, select 1 using the phone keypad. The system will now prompt to identify the child with, "Please enter the 2-digit child number for the child you are checking in," followed by the pound sign. Use the phone keypad to enter the correct information. The system will respond with, "You have successfully checked in this child. If you would like to check in another child, press 1. To return to the main menu, press 2. To end this call, press 3. Selecting 1 will prompt for another child number and perform a check-in on that child. Selecting 2 will return to the main menu of options for check-in, check-out, previous check-in, or previous check-out. Selecting 3 simply ends the call. There are potential errors which may occur during any attendance recording process. We'll cover the most common errors and how to correct them later in this video. A checkout is performed using the same steps as a check-in, except that the main menu, selecting 2, Current Child Checkout, will record a checkout instead of a check-in. All the same rules for multiple cases and multiple children apply for checkout, just as for check-in. In this segment, we'll discuss previous check-in and previous checkout operations. There are several scenarios where performing a previous check-in or previous checkout are necessary. For instance, if a child is only in an after-school care program, in this instance, the child is usually transported from the school by the child care provider. At that point, there are no household designees available to perform a standard check-in. So when they do arrive at the provider to pick up their child, they will perform a previous check-in for the time the child arrived and then perform a check-out to conclude the child's attendance. Another scenario is when someone not registered as a household designee drops off a child. This would require a previous check-in and then a check-out when a household designee picks up the child. If someone not registered as a household designee picks up the child, then the next drop-off day a previous check-out and then a check-in will need to be performed. There are many scenarios which create situations which require either a previous check-in or a previous check-out. So let's take a look at that process with the IVR system. A previous check-in or previous check-out is performed using the same steps as a check-in, except that the main menu, selecting 3, will record a previous check-in and selecting 4 will record a previous check-out. All the same rules for multiple cases and multiple children apply for checkout just as for check-in. Next, the system will prompt for the date on which the attendance occurred. Please enter the 2-digit month and the 2-digit day for the previous check-in. For example, if you're checking in a child on June 23rd, you would enter 0623. Now enter the month and date as requested. If the date entered is in a valid format, the system will prompt to confirm the entry. You entered June 23 for the date of this check-in. If this is correct, press 1. If not, press 2. Pressing 2 allows the date to be re-entered. Press 1 for the next step. Now the system will prompt for the time at which the attendance occurred. Please enter the 2-digit hour from 01 to 12. For example, if you're checking in a child at 9:05 a.m., your entry would be 09. Now enter the hour as requested. After entering the hour, the system will prompt for the minute. Please enter the 2-digit minute from 00 to 59. For example, if you're checking in a child at 9:05 a.m., your entry would be 05. Enter the minute as requested. Next, the system will prompt for the morning or evening. For AM, press 1. For PM, press 2. In the 9:05 a.m. example, 1 should be pressed. If the time entered is in a valid format, the system will prompt to confirm the entry. You entered 9:05 a.m. If this is correct, press 1. If not, press 2. Pressing 2 allows the time to be re-entered. Press 1 to process the transaction. The system will respond with, "You have successfully checked in this child. If you would like to check in another child, press 1. To return to the main menu, press 2. To end this call, press 3. Selecting 1 will prompt for another child number and perform a check-in on that child. Selecting 2 will return to the main menu of options for check-in, check-out, previous check-in, or previous check-out. Selecting 3 simply ends the call. Again, the steps for a previous check-out are the same as a previous check-in, except the 4 option is selected from the main menu instead of the 3 option. When recording a child's attendance, there are some common error messages which household designees may encounter. This segment of the training video will explain what these error messages mean, what steps to use to correctly record attendance. One common error message while attempting to perform a checkout is this child does not currently have a check-in within the last 24 hours of the checkout time. This error occurs when trying to perform a checkout on a child who doesn't have a recorded check-in within the last 24 hours. Record a previous check-in first, then perform the checkout again to complete the attendance record. Another common error message while trying to perform a previous checkout is this checkout is being entered where there is already a matched check-in checkout for this child. This error occurs when a child has already been checked out for the most previous check-in within the system. Perform a correct previous check-in followed by a previous checkout to resolve this error. Another common error message is this child has an outstanding check-in on and provides the check-in date and check-in time. This error occurs while trying to perform a check-in on a child who already has a check-in without a paired checkout. Record a checkout or previous checkout and then perform a new check-in or previous check-in. This error can also occur when trying to record a check-in or previous check-in. This error occurs while trying to perform a check-in on a child who has already been checked in for the same day. If a check-in is actually needed, a previous checkout should be entered to close out the existing attendance. Then perform a check-in or previous check-in to start a new attendance period. Another check-in error can occur as the authorized days have been redeemed, are invalid, or have expired for this child. This error occurs while trying to perform a check-in on a child who does not have an authorization for subsidized care for the day of week selected. Review the child care certificate to find which days are authorized or contact the local ECCD office for assistance. That concludes the most common error messages segment of our video. Let's discuss the different ways to get additional help with the eChildcare system. Each provider will receive a one-page, two-sided quick reference guide. This guide provides a brief overview of the most common transactions such as check-in, check-out, previous check-in, and previous check-out for the household designee, and on the opposite side provides an overview of the most common provider transactions. Refer to the quick reference guide when someone has forgotten how to perform one of these common functions. This can be very helpful for those alternate household designees who only occasionally drop off or pick up children from childcare. MDHS maintains a website at www.childcareinfo.ms. Click on the Parents button at the top of the screen to get access for help in locating licensed childcare centers, information about the childcare payment program, and more. There are over 82 county MDHS offices and 13 childcare resource and referral network sites across Mississippi to provide assistance to you. These locations can provide you with information about approved childcare providers, support for the application process, and with capturing finger images. For assistance with childcare certificates, please call 1-800-877-7882 to contact DECCD. Xerox State and Local Solutions provides the software system and support for the Mississippi eChildcare program. If you have questions about using the PAWS device or with using the IVR system, you can call the Xerox Service Center 24 hours a day at 1-855-370-2600. A representative will be happy to help you with your transaction-related questions. Remember that each of you is responsible for checking your child in and out every day that the child attends care, recording absenteeism in a timely fashion, choosing alternate household designees who will be authorized to check your child in and out when they attend care, making your assigned monthly co-payments to your child care provider each month. Failure to comply with program policies can result in termination from the program. Thank you for your attention to these new processes. DECCD looks forward to supporting you and your family through the Mississippi Child Care Payment Program.